Hello everyone and welcome to Airships Conquer the Skies. This is a really awesome game that I've recently discovered. It is available on Steam. It is in early access. And the basic point of the game is you design your own airship, land ships, giant walkers. It's all steampunk themed, and you are basically try and fight and win. You'll see what I mean. So you can play missions here. But you can also, today we're going to be, that's the wrong one. But today we're going to be doing Conquest, which is kind of the meat of the game, at least in my opinion. So to start things out, this is the heraldry that I've been playing, and so this is really cool. The coat of arms that you have it actually, not only does it have cosmetic, obviously it's cosmetic, it actually has in-game effects. So we will edit our arms, and as you can see here, the eagle, all cannons are twice as accurate. And here's another one, Dragon. It unlocks Dragon Riders. I've never actually used Dragon Riders. The only one I've used is the Eagles, actually. Then we also have, there are some down here that do not, as you can see, that it says they have no bonus. Range, small land ships require half maintenance and move faster on the map. So, as you can see, there's a lot of pretty cool stuff here. I think what we're going to go with, spider legs. I think we're gonna go with the spider legs because I've never used that. Then again, I don't know. There's a lot of really cool ones. Steel armor orbs. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool ones. But we're gonna try out the spiders, and then of course we can just kind of modify it here. There's a bunch of, not a bunch, but there's a decent number of options. So we are going to go with, I like the look of this one. I think that's pretty cool. We're also going to go red and, okay, I think we're going to go red and black. And then for this, we're going to change, oh, nope. There we go. I like that one. So that's it. Now we'll do the place, our city name. It's all city-states. You start out with one city and you win by conquering all the cities. So let's see. And we're back. It took me a while I actually broke up the recording there because I came up fairly quickly with the idea, okay, Arachne is going to be the name of our city, but I didn't know how to spell it exactly, so I had to look it up. But yeah. So we're going to go on a medium-sized map. We're going to go on medium. I haven't tried the hard difficulty yet. I am looking forward to playing it because so far I've found that the game can be slightly a little bit easy if you do some kind of cheesy tactics, which of course I'm all about that. I should have disabled hits, but for those of you who are unfamiliar with this game, you can pause the video and read the hints if you like. But this is our starting place, yada yada. We're going to skip through all that. We're going to check out our starting ship. Hit refit. Okay. I'm not a fan of this mostly because it's just I don't like the rams like that. Well, okay, the rams are actually pretty good. I will say I've used them like once or twice, and they've actually been proven pretty useful. But overall, I'm not a fan. Let's see if we can check. Oh, nope. Nope. Nope, nope. We don't want that. We don't want that. Let's see. What are spider legs? I'm trying to find Arachnid barracks. That's it. 6 light infantry equipped with grappling hooks. Okay. So that is actually something worth checking out. And let's see, is there any other... Yeah, it looks like that's pretty much it. But we will check for land troops as well. So we're going to go ahead and leave that here. Yes, we're going to leave. And we're going to check out our city, and we're going to design a land ship. So, like I said, okay, spider legs. Okay. That's what the spider legs are. Got it. So, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. We might try that out, but that's probably going to be a fairly expensive walker. I haven't done a whole lot with the walkers overall. I've mainly focused on land tanks. I might show off some of the designs that I've come up with so far, but for the time being, we're going to just focus on getting things underway. So we start out with just a little bit over $1,000, I guess that is. And we are going to, let's see, okay, they are going to be pretty much undefended by the looks of it. They don't actually have a starting fleet. So we're going to build a ship, and we are going to go with one of my previous designs. Okay, not that one. Yeah, so this is one of the ships I designed. It's not a very good ship. We're going to go with the Aussie Mark 1. Now, the Aussies, so there's 4 marks, different ones. So the Aussie Mark 1 is insanely good. Tactically, it's not that great. Like, tactically, it has some massive weaknesses. You know, and by tactically, I mean in the battles themselves, it has a lot of weaknesses. But the benefit of it is strategically, it's really good. As you can see, it's the cheapest ship out of all these designs. All the HMS ones are presets, and all the other ones are ones I've made. So the Aussie is the cheapest. It's actually about, it's not quite the cheapest. You could make a ship that was cheaper, but kind of for this basic design where it doesn't have a blimp, which the blimps are very, like, so for example, we go to the chair, this thing right here that's a large suspendium dust tank. So suspendium is like basically the fuel or whatever they use to create lift in this fictional world. So here we have a suspendium chamber, or a small suspendium chamber, and that basically allows the ship. So you either have to have a suspendium chamber or a dust tank, and the dust tanks are virtually, or they are effectively like blimps, and if it gets destroyed, the ship will go plummeting down. Now, the same does apply to the suspendium chambers. If they are destroyed, the ship will crash, but these are a lot harder to destroy than the giant blimp things, which again, that kind of makes sense, but the blimps are cheaper by and large, so they're cheaper and stuff like that, and they also don't require coal. Now, coal is also used for your propellers and stuff like that, but you can, let's see, do I have any ships? Yeah, here we go. You can also have sails, so you can actually, like, this is actually an example. The Rain Cloud, which is a ship, this is was my attempt at a high-altitude bomber. So, it's not that good. Again, it's not very good. As you can see, it's kind of vulnerable up here in the front. There's actually a funny story I'll tell about these. One time I was attacking this one city, and it had a bunch of defensive structures, like a ton of them. Probably had like 6 or 7, and that's a lot. And I had like 4 or 5 of these and a whole bunch of the Aussie Mark 1s, which were like my cheap cover ships, basically. And literally, first like 3 seconds, I start the battle, first 3 seconds, 2 of the rain clouds the blimps got shot, and they crashed. So that was actually pretty funny. So again, not very good, but as you can see, they're pretty cheap. Not nearly as cheap as the Aussies, but they're basically just $300, and that's pretty cheap. As you can see, like, most of my ships are actually very cheap. I haven't made that many that are, you know, over 1,000. Like the Achilles is one, and I've got a couple others. But for the most part, I actually prefer kind of cheaper ships, and I think that's the main complaint I've had so far. And again, I'm currently playing on medium difficulty, and that's all I've played on. So perhaps on hard difficulty, the AI actually does it much better. And I guess against real human opponents, it'd be completely different, I'm sure. And by the way, you can play multiplayer on this. Unfortunately, you can't play Conquest, which is like the actual like campaign thing. All you can do is you can basically just play like battles. And I haven't tried that out. I'm looking forward to trying it out. I'm gonna see if I can, if I've got some people who potentially already have. I think I've got a couple friends on my Steam list who already have the game, so I'm gonna try and set something up there. But you can't actually play Conquest. Now, I would love to see a multiplayer Conquest mode added, but I don't know how that would work, as you'll see momentarily. But anyway, I've been rambling long enough. We're going to go ahead and build us an Aussie Mark 1. As you can see, it's just wooden armor, not very survivable. These things, they die very quickly, but they are very, very useful. So we're going to pause. Spacebar is pause and play. As you can see, it's real time. That is an important thing to know. It is real time, except when you enter battles. When you enter battles, the campaign pauses and you play out the battle. And that's like the main issue I see here with a multiplayer Conquest mode, is when because again, you'd want it to be more than just 2 players. You could do 2 players going head to head, but that would honestly probably not be that entertaining. Well, I mean, it would still be fun, but it wouldn't be as cool as like this. As you can see, there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 factions counting myself. So there's 8 other factions. That's pretty cool. So again, you'd want to be able to have at least 4 players at a time and something. And the main problem with the Conquest is, since it's real time, except when you go into battles, every time 2 players go into a battle, everyone else would just have to pause and wait. I think that actually, like, personally, I wouldn't mind that, because the battles tend to be over very quickly. Like, sometimes they can take a little bit longer, but overall they tend to be fairly short. We're gonna go ahead and launch an invasion. We have the Vindictive, which is the default ship we started with, and we've got 3 Aussie Mark 1, and we will check out what these guys have. Okay, so they just have a single defensive structure. Yeah, this should be pretty easy. So you will now begin to see how the combat actually works, and this is really cool. I absolutely love this game. I've been playing a lot of it since I picked it up. And oh, I forgot, we're gonna have to change my controls because I have my push to talk on. Okay, so we're gonna have to fix that momentarily, but as you can see, we have the Aussies up here, and we have what's the name of this thing? This was the Vindictive, I think. Yeah, so we have the Vindictive down here. Now you can zoom in really close. You can actually zoom in really far. It's all pixel graphics, as you can see. And so this Vindictive ship here, it has a ram on the front, and then it has a couple of cannons. And then the Aussies up here are armed with rifle stations. So the rifle stations are actually really, really good. You would think, like, when I first started playing, I thought the cannons were like going to be like the basic weapon, which they kind of are. But honestly, rifles in a lot of circumstances are actually better than cannons against against anything that's lightly armored. Rifles are just better. They have a faster fire rate. They use less ammunition, because ammunition is a thing. Right here you can see this is our ammo bay, and it's got a little bar right there. Cannons go through ammunition a lot faster. Cannons are also more inaccurate, and particularly at long ranges. Like, rifles are pretty accurate at long ranges. So overall, it seems to me just like rifles are a really good way to go, and that's one of the reasons why I love the Aussie Mark 1s that I've made, is these are just proven to be really effective. Now again, there are times where they kind of they don't work so well, but even in those circumstances, there's a trick I figured out that actually makes them, like I said, pretty much unstoppable. We're going to stop, then we're going to hit pause. Okay, and we can't actually adjust the settings while in game, so this is going to be a little bit tricky. I don't think it's going to cause very many problems, but you will have to forgive these group sections over here. So to start things off, we're going to select. You can actually order ships around. This is one of the things I think is really cool. So we're going to select this, and we're going to click on move. I could be using the hotkeys, but it's a little awkward while I'm using my push to talk. We're going to be moving that away, and we're going to take all of our Aussies here and do the same. We're going to just select them as a group and move them as a group to right about there. And then we're going to unpause. And as you can see, all the kind of tracers of where everything's going. As you can see, our rifles are now in an effective range, and our cannon our cannons aren't doing so great quite yet. Now we are going to move them closer in. Again, cannons seem to be a lot more effective when they're closer in, because it kind of helps with their inaccuracy problems. But again, just like as you can see here, the rifles are doing work. The rifle ships are starting to chip away at these stone walls here, which again is a little bit weird when you think about it. Like, they're just rifles, and cannons should be more effective, and cannons do more damage, but they don't hit as often. And again, they have a slower rate of fire and use more ammo, like I already said. So those are just like a couple of reasons why I kind of think that rifles might be a little bit too powerful right now. I'm not complaining, because that's my basic strategy. Okay, they've caught fire. Hold that thought. They've caught fire. We can zoom in here and watch if the fire spreads to either their... Well, I don't know if the fort actually has a coal bay, but let's see if it spreads to their ammo bay or their ammo room. And that will actually cause an explosion. It's really cool. The game is really cool. It has a lot of detail like that, where structures or ships can get lit on fire, and then the fire will spread. You can have, like on this ship right here, this is a fire point, which is basically a giant water tanks, and we've got a couple guys here who are on firefighting duty. So if we ever caught fire, they would run around and try and put the fires out. And generally speaking, you can fight fires fairly effectively unless you get a bunch of fires started. And as we can see, we are starting to destroy the walls, and we can kind of see inside. And that's actually really cool. You see the damage as it goes. Ooh, we killed one of their guys. That's good. You have limited personnel. I'll probably dive into the actual details of like designing a ship and kind of what it entails later on. But overall, we're gonna just keep this up. We're gonna go ahead and fast forward, because we're not taking casualties. Is the slot icon, the ammo is low, and over here our coal is low, which again, not that problem. Battles tend to end fairly quickly. So again, that one dragged on a while, but that was just because, you know, defensive structure. Airship versus airship, things usually go a lot faster because airships aren't as tough as defensive structures. So you have three options: gentle takeover, brutal takeover, and pillaging. So basically this means the gentle takeover takes the longest, brutal takeover is like in between, and pillaging is the shortest, and you can't really do anything with the city until you've completely taken it over. But the problem with doing like a pillaging or a brutal takeover is it basically means the city will not have any income for a while, and basically when cities get attacked, it decreases their income. So overall, the conquest mode, like this conquest map, it's not super like detailed. There's not a whole lot you can do, but it's actually some really cool systems. Like again, like I said, general takeover, right? This is going to take a long time, but it also means our income is not going to be effective once we take it over. So, you know, it takes longer in the short term, but long term, the city will be making us more money once we do take it over. So we're going to go ahead and get into building some more ships, and we can pretty much build anything we want. And I'm thinking we're going to go with, honestly, we're going to build a couple of Aussie Mark 1s, and then we're going to kind of delve into some ship design, but maybe not quite for this video. So just a quick reminder, I kind of failed to do this in the beginning of this video, so apologies for that, but this is going to be I don't know how long this series of me covering the game is going to last overall, but for this set of videos, I'm going to play through this conquest right here. So I'm going to just play through this conquest, and I'm actually planning on doing this in an entire sitting. It usually, on a medium map, it takes about an hour or so, probably an hour and a half on average is what it's been for me. So I'm actually going to play through this just in one sitting, recording it, but I am going to break these into different parts. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and make a cut in this one. This will be the end of this first video. For the rest of this playthrough of this individual game right here, this conquest, this campaign, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to like I'm not sure if I'm going to make breaks and be like, okay, here's the end of this part or something. I think I'm probably going to just do that in editing, and just kind of leave myself a few, you know, opportunities here or there. But for now, that's it for this video, part 1. I hope you guys enjoy this. I would highly recommend this game. It's still in early access, so do keep that in mind. I understand. I completely understand there are people who are always just wary of early access titles, but this is one that I think is worth picking up now because it's fun. That's the thing. Like, for me, a lot of early access games, they have a lot of potential, but they are not that fun, or if they are fun, they're not fun for very long. Airships, Conquer the Sky, or Conquer the Skies, this is already fun. This is already really fun, and it's got a lot of depth to it already, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what I actually believe it's one guy by himself. I could be wrong. I'll double check that. I'll probably have something in the description about that, but I think it might be one guy, but either way, the guy or dev team, whatever, that's making this has been doing a great job, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they add. But that is enough of me rambling about random things. Without further ado, till next time.